Okay. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs. That's all I remember from all the years I took German in high school and the 3 weeks I took it in college. I ended with six because this is our sixth episode of Dinner with Dan. And tonight will be our Oktoberfest episode. I'm Daniel Garris, the host of Dinner with Dan, coming to you from the 200 block of Wroe Avenue in Dayton's historic Five Oaks neighborhood. Before I introduce the table for tonight's dinner and conversation, I have one shout out and one update to give you. First of all, shout out to Bill LaHecca, who made us this wonderful on-air sign with his 3D printer. Bill lives in Albany, New York, and is a rabid listener of Dinner with Dan. He's also been to probably 18 or 19 block parties, and he's crashed a number of times here at my house. Wonderful guy. It says Dinner with Dan on air with a microphone. It lights up, and it has a remote that can change the different colors. And most importantly, the font he used is the font from Star Wars. So Dinner with Dan is in Star Wars font. So thank you, Bill LaHecca, all the way from Albany, New York. We really, really appreciate that.
So nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It is nice.
Now, the other update I'm going to give is my hiking hero, Paul Duncan Robinson. I had a long talk with Duncan yesterday. Folks, my hero is almost completed the Appalachian Trail. He spent the last 2 days in Munson, Maine,
Wow.
which is 115 miles from the end of the Appalachian Trail if you are a northbounder, which means if you started in Georgia and you walked all the way north, versus being a southbounder is if you started in Maine and walked all the way south to Georgia. So, Paulie, Duncan, I am so proud of you. 4 of my dinner mates have varying differences about your hike, but I can't wait until you get done. When we have you here,
And he'll come to Sunday dinner, right?
it's going to be the Appalachian Trail episode, and I will still be saying that he's my hero. So until then, we wish him well on his last 115-mile hike. He's got to get to the summit of Mount Kata. How do you say it? Katahdin in Maine's Baxter State Park. And he believes he will be there probably by Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of this week. So hike on, Duncan, hike on. Okay.
Pretty amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, Pat, this man is 55 years old and he's hiking the Appalachian Trail.
And he quit his job to do it.
He's been on the trail since the middle of April.
Huh?
He
Quit his job to do
Yeah,
that.
that's the
Yes.
part we question. Dan does not, but
We questioned Sandy a little bit, leaving your wife and kid. But good for him. It's incredible, and he stayed on schedule the whole way.
Yes, he has. He is. It's been remarkable. So anyhow, we're going to have him here. We think tentatively it may be October 19th. He's going to spend a little bit of time with his parents in Maine and then come on back. And when he comes on back, we're going to have him here and have a special Appalachian Trail dinner with Dan.
have you talked to him this week?
Yeah,
Oh.
I talked to him yesterday for like a half an hour.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Okay, tonight at the dinner table, we have table regulars Nan Whaley, Sam Braun, Kate Evans, and my son Eddie, who pops in and out. He got me a clean tablecloth and then has disappeared,
Then disappeared again, yeah.
but I'm sure he will be here. And tonight's very special guests are 2 of the, how shall I put this, most eclectic friends I have. I've known them for many, many, many years. They are 2 of the best doctors I ever met. First and foremost is Dr. Pat Dempsey, who is a medical doctor of osteopathic medicine. and her husband, Dr. Dennis Doyle, who's a doctor of theology. One can write prescriptions and the other can't. Well, one can write prescriptions for drugs and the other can write prescriptions for life. There you go,
Oh,
for
that's
life.
good. Oh, that's-
Now, one of the reasons, there's two reasons why we've got him here tonight. First off, Dennis was interviewed at the block party episode, and due to technical problems,
I accidentally deleted it, Dennis, I'm sorry.
Oh,
The
no.
technical problem.
okay,
being
there you
named.
go. See, when we make a mistake at dinner with Dan, we don't hide behind it.
Right?
We
Oh,
come
yeah,
out and
no,
we
I
admit
messed
it.
it up.
Nan messed it up. But so
It
I definitely wanted to get Dennis back. Did you bring your? Yeah, he brought his harmonica. So he's
good.
he's going to play some music for us. But these two people are truly gems from the Gem City. I can't even begin to tell you the number of great times I've had with both these people. And there are four redheaded boys who were quite a bunch of youngsters growing up, a couple of them with my sons. So, Pat, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background. Oh, and the other thing is, first we're going to do the food. We've got bratwurst that Kate Evans got and made. We've got
With sauerkraut.
with sauerkraut. We've got 3 different kinds of canned herring from Germany. One in mustard sauce, one in tomato sauce, and one in paprika. We've got a beet salad, I think, that Nan made. And we have Dorothy Lane Market German potato salad. And most importantly, we have Dennis Doyle made German potato salad as well.
And it's by far the better one.
And it's by far the better one.
And it's in a special.
And it's in a special, really neat German container. And then for dinner, or for we have an apple kuchen.
Apfelkuchen.
There you go. Now, the other reason why I wanted these guys here, and then I'm going to throw it to them, is they have both spent a lot of time in Germany. Dennis was a longtime professor of theology at the University of Dayton, and like every time I turned around, he was off for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months in Germany. So he understands Duncan taking off and going on a hike.
He never quit his job to do that.
Well, no, but he went over the pond for months at a time. One time he took Patrick with him, because one of his sons, because we had a big bon voyage party for Patrick,
Michael and Patrick, they went to a German school.
and they went to German school. So anyhow, that's why not only are they very interesting people, but they can speak German. They both have spent a lot of time in Germany. So Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll have Dennis tell a little bit about himself, and then we'll get into it.
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Go Browns, big victory today.
Yes, we should announce this, the Browns won a game. And
And-
really in the last part of the fourth quarter, it was truly amazing. I'm waiting for the referee to say that they made a mistake
Amazing.
and take back the win.
Well, just so you know, Pat, Kate's a big Packers fan.
It was.
I mean, she wears
That was rough.
she wears gold and green underwear. I'm
I
telling
do.
you. Yeah.
Well, this was a surprise for everybody, I guess.
It was.
For Packer fans and Brown fans alike.
You can't take any game for granted.
It's true. After I
Lesson
graduated
in life.
from high school, I went to Ohio University, then transferred to Boston University and changed my major, which was somewhat dismaying to my parents, who thought I should finish something in life.
What was your first major at OU?
Zoology.
Biology?
No, zoology.
Oh,
Zoology.
wow.
Or like pre-med. And I was closed out, this was in 1965, and I was closed out of my second semester Zoll course. And I remember the counselor saying to me, "It's okay, you could do something else. You could maybe be a nurse, or you could become a teacher or something." It was a different time where they did not encourage women to do anything. But then I transferred to Boston University and transferred my major from education to English. And then later on I got a master's in education. I'm not sure why. And I also got a job as an airline stewardess for TWA. the first year that they flew the 747s.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I was living in Boston and working part-time for Boston After Dark newspaper, so I knew everything about what was happening in Boston. And the woman that interviewed me for TWA had just moved there, so we really clicked, and somehow I got this job. Just before this interview, though, my mother had sent me a dress and a girdle, because I did not have appropriate clothes, she thought, for an interview, which is probably true, because I was somewhat of a leftover hippie. And when I was sleeping, I lived in Cambridge at the time, a mirror fell on my head and cut my head.
Oh my god.
So in those days, they used to shave your head before they stitched it up. So when I went to this interview, the woman asked me if I always wore my hair that way. It's something I remember from that particular interview. But in any case, I got the job with TWA because I passed the German test, and I flew internationally for TWA for many years.
You flew internationally.
Wow.
I did not know that.
That
Very
was
cool.
50 pounds 50 years ago. I know it's hard to believe. But TWA at that time had a program called the Butterfly Program, where one could work in the summertime, because it was mainly an international airline, and then take off in the wintertime, fly away as a butterfly, and then come back in the spring, and you were trained and you were in a good mood, and they didn't have to pay you all winter. So I took, well, I worked for TWA, I actually took 13 leaves, because I went to graduate school. I took courses, like pre-med courses, to apply to medical school, went to medical school, even started my residency. But then I broke my foot when I was in the Plaka in Athens, so I could take more time off. So I had a job at TWA, but I didn't work that much.
Where did you go to med school?
Ohio University,
So you went back to Athens?
yeah.
Okay.
I never thought I would go back to Athens, Ohio, but
Okay.
that's where I ended up. And that's where I met my husband. He and I lived in the same dormitory.
Oh.
Dormitory. And then I went on to New Jersey to do my internship and then finished my residency at Ohio State. I worked in Columbus for a while, and then in Dayton, Ohio as a pediatrician. And my last job was at Children's Emergency Department. And my last day actually was March 9th of 2020, when
Oh, wow.
when COVID came and our census went from 350 people to 40, and so everybody was laid off.
Oh wow.
So now I garden and I make bouquets and I read books and I see my grandchildren.
And you brought some beautiful flowers tonight.
Oh.
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in,
Gorgeous.
a, in a stein
And Stein.
that from Germany that says your love is rare and your drink is clear.
Clear. Awesome.
I did not realize you flew international. That's pretty cool.
It was very nice. That was
Yeah.
the beginning of the 747s, and so actually I flew on the first 747 into Portugal. I had my picture was on the front page of the Lisbon newspaper.
I flew Lufthansa from Chicago, Illinois to Frankfurt, Germany on a 747. And it was a night flight. So my German professor, well, for 3 weeks before I quit class, I was there long enough to sign up for German Lifestyles for the January term at Manchester. So I got to go on this trip. And he was from Kassel, West Germany at the time. His name was Karl Heinz Regenbogen.
Oh wow!
And he chatted up the host in the lounge, and all the first class people were asleep. So he tapped us all on the shoulder, and we one at a time very quietly went up to the lounge, and for like 4 hours we were up there drinking, smoking, having a good time like we were first class people. And then as we were getting close to the sun rising in Frankfurt, we very tiptoed very quietly back down to our seats in steerage. So I did get to fly up in the lounge once. So anyhow, enough about that. Dennis, your turn.
Well, I remember right after we got married, I flew to Rome. I'll start in the early, but I just wanted to follow up on something
Okay.
I said. I flew to Rome, and the flight attendant was my bride,
Oh,
and
nice.
so that was real fantasy, to like go to Rome and the flight attendant, and you know. But
You were already married and she was your flight attendant?
yeah,
This was our honeymoon. Family members could fly, so I worked the flight to Rome, and he was a passenger. And so we spent the night in Rome and then came back. Short honeymoon.
How romantic!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, we stayed at the Hilton, Rome Hilton, up in the hill.
Did TWA know you did this?
Yeah, we rode the bus with
On
us.
Mad Men? Isn't that when they go to on Mad Men?
They
Wow.
did, that's
That
right.
was not uncommon that it.
Around
that-
For like a day.
I mean, it happened
Patton
occasionally.
Dennis,
It's not
or
uncommon
they
that
stole,
a
Mad
crew
Men
member would have a
stole,
family member
Mad
come along.
Men stole Patton Dennis's story.
well,
Interesting.
Okay.
I used to think it was funny to say that I was born in the back of a bus in Philadelphia, but that wasn't true. I was born in Nazareth Hospital in Philadelphia, and you know I went to Catholic schools, and I went to LaSalle. Now it's called university. It was LaSalle College in those days, and I studied English, and I wanted to be a writer. And I was kind of a bad kid and kind of like had a lot of bad habits. And about a year after I got out of college, I went and got some rehabilitation, and that was led me to a religious conversion. And although I then went and studied English for 2 years at Ohio University, got a master's in English literature, it really drove me to the study of theology. I had so many questions because I had kind of fallen away from my church, and having this religious conversion just really motivated me to study. And so then after my master's degree, I went off to Catholic University in Washington and got a doctorate in theology. And you know, things worked out pretty well. I had met Pat. Pat and I were friends. We were engaged to other people. After like 4 years, she was doing hospital rotations in Washington, D.C. And then all of a sudden, the friendship, you know, turned in a different direction. And then we got married right after I finished my coursework. And then she had been living in New Jersey, and then we moved together to Columbus, where we had 2 kids, and I was working on my dissertation, and she was doing her residency. And we were really busy people. And then I was despairing about getting a job. My first year, I applied for like 30 different jobs. I actually almost got offered one, but then the president of the university said, no, you're a year away from your dissertation, so they didn't hire anybody in that job search. That was at a small place in northern Ohio. And then I was teaching in a high school, in a Catholic high school in William Fisher Catholic in Lancaster, Ohio. And I ran into this guy who was, at the time, the boyfriend, although he would later marry her, the boyfriend of a friend of mine from Catholic University who was moving to Columbus. And he taught at the University of Dayton. And I wasn't really going to apply for any jobs, but he said, you know, we have this job opening, it kind of sounds like you. So I applied for it. It's the only job I applied for that year. And then I got it. And then...
And you never left?
Never left, no. I taught at UD as a regular full-time employee. Early on, got full professor. I published a lot of things, and I loved it, loved every minute of it. And then 3 years ago, I retired and became professor emeritus. So I still have office space there, and I still do things. And I'm actually very busy. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time yesterday and today working on an evaluation of a project for the Louisville Institute where somebody applies for a grant, and I write articles and book reviews. You know, I even had a small book come out recently, and I'm real busy. And I in the last 3 years, I've twice taught at the University of Munich, and that was another big part of my life. Was, as you've already mentioned, in 1998, I went to Augsburg, which is our sister city and also the sister university of the University of Dayton. And I taught there for 3 months, and I had Mike and Patrick with me for those 3 months. And boy, that was a great experience for them and for me. And then I've returned several times, either through Augsburg or through University of Dayton, to teach in Germany. And I've taught several times, like in Leipzig, and then this one professor used to bring me into Augsburg. he got a job in Regensburg, and so then I taught in Regensburg for a while, and then I've twice taught at the University of Munich in the last 3 years, and that keeps me busy too. And I write things for them, for this Munich Journal of Theology, and very active. Although when I was working, when I retired, it was just gotten to be too much for me. The pressure of all, like, you might think being a college professor is an easy job, but if you do it right, it's a very difficult job because you got all these things going on. You're teaching these classes, you have to do your research and publishing, you're on all these committees and blah, blah, blah. So my pressure, my blood pressure is way down. I said to my doctor some months ago, I said, Cecily, my blood pressure's been down for quite a while now. And she said, well, since you retired.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
great.
so even though I'm active, I'm not under a lot of pressure, except for the to-do lists I get from Pat or something.
Here we go.
Oh, it's that part of the podcast.
Okay, just before you guys start this back and forth, that I find so charming and enduring about you. Since both of you have been a lifetime in Germany, why does Oktoberfest start in September? I wanted somebody to Google it, but I thought you guys would know.
I don't know why it starts in
It's
September.
supposed to be celebrating one of the Bavarian king's weddings.
Oh,
But Oktoberfest started in Munich, I think just yesterday,
yeah,
the first official day.
right.
Why is it called Oktoberfest when it starts in September?
Well, I tell you,
Yeah.
when I had my difficulties back right after I graduated college, I stopped drinking, and so Oktoberfest has held little interest for me. I'm interested in many things German, many things Munich, Bavarian, but Oktoberfest I really haven't been there and don't pay attention to it.
Okay. Do you have any
I
idea,
think
Doctor?
they like to confuse American tourists. It's just like part of their European
There is a reason,
payback.
someone should Google it now
Yeah.
so we can share it with the audience.
All right, I'll
Okay.
Google it
There
while
has
you're
to be.
discussing.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
you
sorry,
can
go
Google it.
ahead.
Speaking of Germany, Dennis, why don't you share the story about Patrick getting arrested?
Oh, well,
Patrick and the what?
that was
Getting
Mike.
arrested.
Mike got arrested.
In Germany.
Where's
No,
Mike?
Patrick got arrested when he didn't validate his bus
That was
ticket.
Mike. That was Mike.
That was Mike?
Oh,
Yeah. So
you have to do that.
he had to. They call it Stampfel. You have this bus ticket. It's got 10 little strips on it, and you have to Stampfel it when you get on the bus. And he had enough. He didn't have to do it, but he was trying to save his things, and he got caught. And then they asked him, "Well, where do you live?" And he said, "I don't know." And they said, so they said, "Well, what's your phone number?" "I don't know." So then he said his father worked at the University of Augsburg. So I'm in my office working, and two German policemen show up with Mike,
Oh my.
and then
Oh my.
then they tell me, they were not happy about this, but they don't really like to let people go on things in Germany.
No, they don't.
They're very rule oriented and so on, and so then one of the policemen used my office phone to call a judge and said that he wanted to get extra fine because of all the hassle and all the time they had to spend coming to my office, and the judge said just give them the regular fine. So that, I think it was at that time like 80 marks or something like that. That was back in '98 when they still had marks. And but
What grade was he in at that time?
Mike was 14, I think, and Patrick was 12.
Juvenile delinquent.
And now I got another story about Mike. Was in Germany, if you lose the key to your apartment, I mean, it's the only time they believe in capital punishment. I think that was just a bad joke, but they're very serious about if you lose your key, because if you lose your key, that key opens your apartment building, and it also opens the bike closet.
Oh.
And so we come home one day
They all have to be
from
replaced.
Munich and visiting the Deutsches Museum, and Mike didn't have his key. Oh,
British Museum is one of the biggest museums in the world.
I was so upset. And then the next day, I sent him back. I had to work. I sent him back into Munich to see if he could find the key. And
Munich being a city of 3 or 4 million people. That's an
it's
easy
a
guess.
little over a
Needle
million,
in
I
the
think. But
haystack,
but
right?
anyway, he went to the Deutsches Museum, and he described it to them. I think it was a Nike key or something, like a key holder, and they had it.
Wow.
They had it.
Wow.
So then at the end, and then I was started worrying all day. I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever done. You know, I'm never going to see him again. Pat's going to kill me. Blah blah blah. You know, all day, I was so worried. And then Patrick and I were back in the apartment, and then Mike shows up, and he doesn't say anything at first. He goes over, he sits down on a couch. He has this big pause. Then he reaches into his pocket and pulls the key out and just holds it up to
trophy.
us. And yeah, and that was a pretty cool thing. And now I do have a Patrick story because. Somebody had advised me it was like 10 marks a month to get Wohnungsversicherung, which is apartment insurance. Right? So I bought apartment insurance.
Thank God.
Patrick was outside one day. He was playing with this girl, and he was chasing her. She ran inside our building, and he ran right into the door and broke the security glass, which cost something like 800 marks. But I had, Wohnungsversicherung, and that was completely covered by that. Although I had to go down and fill out a form that said that Patrick did it ohne Absicht, without intent. And so my vocabulary increased very, very, very well. And then they went to a school there. They went to this gymnasium. No, what do you call the school? It was a gymnasium, yeah. And so they were taking English, sport, music, and I got called in to talk to the principal. And every other sentence started with, well, die Schwierigkeit ist. The difficulty is. The difficulty is. And so
And anybody
anyway,
that knows the Doyle boys, yep, that's a good way to
well,
start.
yeah. So, they I guess they straightened out a little. I only had to go in that one time, but that really improved my vocabulary to have all these incidents with the boys at that time. Yeah.
You sounds to me like you should have gone to law school when you were in Germany as well. Became a barrister over there.
Well, I'll tell you, one time I was over there and I could have gotten something notarized for free, but we were refinancing our house. This is many years ago, and I went to a German lawyer, and he tied up the forms with like threads
Yeah.
and
Sewed it.
sewed it, stamped it with all these things, and charged me like 110 euros, and I thought, wow, maybe I should become a lawyer over there.
Oh boy, I could spill the tea on a lot of Doyle boys, but I'm not
Oh,
going to
boy.
because they were. But I just want to spill the tea on two of my favorite people, the two doctors. This is going to be two stories. One, we were watching a Eagles game, and Tommy Doyle was a star at Chaminade Julienne High School, big time star. Went on to be a big star at Capital University. Won a national first place All-American
Right.
center or whatever he was.
Yes.
Did you win the Remington Award for
For D3 or D2.
For D3. Yeah.
D3 schools?
So anyhow, my late wife Virginia is sitting there with the Dr. Pat Dempsey, and Pat goes, "Why do they keep saying this about it's another Eagle first down?" Remember that? Oh yes,
I was
you
kind
do.
of stupid about football, but
Yeah, I mean, after watching your sons play football, you didn't have a clue what the first down was.
I
And
bought the book.
Virginia,
I bought the Idiot's Guide to Football.
and you didn't read it.
No, she did.
I did read it,
She did.
and I got an award when Tommy was a senior as the most improved parent.
I can believe that. Virginia could not believe you didn't have a clue about what another Eagle first down was.
I didn't.
And then my good story about the divinity doctor, Doyle, is this is one of the rare times I wasn't coaching, but I was watching. Frank and Patrick were on the same wings team, which was all boys, 9 versus 9. And Dennis is sitting there on the sidelines with a stack of papers, grading papers. And his son, Patrick, went on an absolute scoring tear. Not only did he get 1 goal, Not only did he get 2 goals, he got 3 goals. He got a hat trick. None of which did Dennis watch. Okay, because he was busy
He was
doing that.
Multitasking.
He was not multitasking. He was. You don't interrupt me.
Doing
He-
one task.
You
One
can't.
task.
Yeah, you can't interrupt the host when he's on a roll.
Unitasking.
And the last goal that that Patrick scored was with like 15 seconds left in a tied game, and he had this great shot that just went right above to win the game. Everybody's jumping up and down, yelling and screaming. The parents are going crazy. The kids are going crazy. And Dennis looks up from his papers that he's grading. He goes, "What happened?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what happened? Well, did Patrick do something good or bad?" I'm like, "Oh, Dennis." So those are 2 true stories.
Patrick is now the coach of his son's soccer team.
I think that's
Very
great.
nice.
It's a
Yeah.
4 to 6-year-old soccer team.
I hope they cause him as much trouble as he caused me.
Well,
That's
he's
the
a
age
little
where
bit
they all
frustrated
just
because
go
they
to
don't,
the ball.
they,
Ball,
quote,
yeah.
don't listen to him.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
Yeah.
I
There's
kind
Carmen
of
in the
pack
world.
of kids.
I kinda
That's
look
right.
at,
It's like bumble-
I
it's
look
like
at the
bees around a
the
soda.
problems Patrick
Yeah.
gave me is the John Lewis good trouble. Right? He was good trouble. He was trouble. But anyhow, back to you guys. Now let's talk about your interests. You love to garden. You love to write.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about writing together a book on gardening and what it means to be a happy couple who have such divergent
Actually, I'm
backgrounds?
too lazy to be an author. I edit his books.
Oh, you
Oh,
edit his
nice.
books.
I edit his books. That way it's already written up and I can make big circles and use lines and drawings and things. and
She has
say,
kind of a mean delivery too.
Whoa, mean delivery.
Why'd
Like-
you say it like that?
like-
Why'd you say that? Why?
Like Hair Doyle, you will comply.
Well, she does get upset if I don't accept her corrections.
Dennis just finished writing a book called.
No.
Yeah, we can't talk
okay,
about
I can't
that.
talk about that. Well,
Yes.
anyways, I read that 4 times and went through it line by line. It's a better book now because I edited it.
It is. I admit it.
Yeah.
That's. I still can't believe you guys got married and got together. I mean, what a,
But yeah.
you've heard of the Grateful Dead. What a long, strange trip this has been.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
long ago she asked me, why don't you just come out and work in the garden with me? And I said, well, the first time that happened, the first couple, they really got in trouble over that.
Adam and Eve. There you go. On that, will you pass me the beet salad? Right there in front of me.
Oh.
It's the red stuff. I want to try the beet salad.
Does anybody need anything while we're?
Well, we've
Doing a
had
food
a
break
magnificent meal, and I just want everybody to know that table regular Ed Garris has come up,
Join
and
the
he
table?
just got back from a weekend with all his CJ buddies.
Where were you?
Pleasant Hill Lake up there, and I think Perry's Bowl up there.
Who all went?
Oh, just a gaggle of us.
How many's a gaggle?
9, I think.
That's
Oh,
a
that's
gaggle.
pretty good.
That's a gaggle.
Yeah.
Is Damien still getting the house? Any news?
No news from that
Okay.
font.
We like to check on that every
Yeah.
week. At
Yeah.
the Zato house.
Tom is going to be what's he going to be like an honorary captain or something for a CJ game in October?
Something like that.
They haven't won a game yet this year. They're 0-5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Tough
CJ
year.
football, has anyone seen Coach Place on TV? He was on MSNBC on
Really?
the Stephanie Rules show.
Really?
I was reading or something. I looked up and I thought, "Whoa,
Wait a
this
minute.
is Coach Place."
No.
What was
how
he
about
doing
that?
on
Yeah.
that?
What's the?
Her introduction before it says that there's, she wants to give a positive story at the end of the hour.
Uh-huh.
She said there's 2 football coaches in Ohio doing good work.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's nice.
apparently a friend of his, who's also a coach, was quite depressed after George Floyd, and he thought, what can we do? So he said, quote, I talked to my good friend Jim Place, and they developed a
Yeah.
program for high school students. And I think that maybe this is the 4th or 5th year, but last year they had 3,000 participants.
Oh wow.
And they
Awesome.
they talk about racial issues and like life issues.
Yeah.
And apparently it's quite a successful program.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, there was
That's
even
great.
an article about it in the Washington Post.
Oh, wow. That's
I
great.
know Archdeacon, a friend of the podcast,
Yeah.
he's written about it, yeah. Yeah, Jim Place was a great guy. He coached Tommy and he coached Marty when Marty played at CJ.
Yeah,
Great guy. Can't get a better guy than Jim Place, yep. Yep.
True. Well, he must be friends with Stephanie because they kept calling each other by Jim and Stephanie.
There you go.
So he has
Oh,
friends in
nice.
high places.
Good for him. It's handy thing to have.
Now, another thing about Dennis Doyle is he was one of the first people I knew of my generation, because we're basically, I'm 72, you're
73.
73, who started riding his bike to work.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And I thought that was mighty bizarre.
more bizarre than someone quitting their job and going on the Appalachian Trail.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now,
Oh,
I would see
okay.
Dennis, and you would be
things are coming into
pedaling
place
your
for me
bike
here.
all the way from way up there, all the way down to UD.
When he teaches in Germany, he buys a bike.
And that's,
It makes
that's kind of
total
what
He
it dawned on
buys a
me,
bike
yeah.
and then uses that to for transportation.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, he gives it to someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of the time I buy a used bike.
Yeah.
Though a couple times I bought, if I've been there for a long time, maybe I'll get a real like a new bike.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the other thing that we had, the thing that we missed because of a technical problem,
I messed it up.
I'm not saying anything about that. My life's been one big mess up
Technical.
after the other, yeah. But Dennis is well-known harmonica player, and he brought his harmonica with him. And I said, well, it was Oktoberfest, so he was going to bone up on something German. So are we going to have Brahms, Beethoven? Don't give me Mozart. He's Austrian.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, that almost makes me want to be an inmate at Shawshank. And hear that is when it's lights out.
Oh my gosh.
That was very good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It was good.
I practiced it this afternoon.
Now, the other thing that that's very interesting about the Doyle family is, for those of us who've been lucky enough to be at their house, you have how many pianos? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
Now I only have 2.
You only have 2 pianos.
Because they migrated with our children.
Okay. There was a time
We just only had 4.
you had 4. 4 grand pianos.
Well, there was 2 grand pianos,
A
Yeah.
Kurzweil,
a Kurzweil and a console.
a stand-up, yeah.
Well,
That wasn't quite as tall as an upright, the piano that I had growing up.
and I think all your boys knew how to play the piano, correct?
Yeah, they all took piano lessons, and Tom went to Interlochen twice.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Piano. Actually, when Tom was playing football at CJ, Channel 7 interviewed him, and they came to our house and he played music, and then when they showed him on the field, they had the music
Oh, that's
playing in
cool.
the background.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he still plays the piano, and his oldest daughter now goes to the Cincinnati School for the Arts, and she's studying piano and voice.
When I was a youngster, back as Billy Joel would say, when I wore a younger man's clothes,
Yeah.
starting in the 4th grade, I played the cello.
Oh, wow.
Well, I tried to play the cello, let's put it that way. And I
finished it?
love
Yes.
cello music to this day. I played it until the day I graduated high school. I love Yo-Yo Ma. I was never any good at it. I deeply regret it, that I was never any good at it. One of these days, I'm 72, I want to pick it up and do it again. But I listen to classic radio all the time. And with all the federal money that's been taken away from classical radio and TV and everything, the local classic radio station had their big fundraising drive, And so on Friday, I made a $500 contribution to Classic 88, what is it, 88.1, in memory of my wife Virginia Maud Platt. And I did it as a reoccurring thing. So for anybody that loves classical music or any other kind of music, since there's been this change in the outlook on things like public radio, I would encourage you to get in your pocketbook and send them off a contribution. So with that, having said that, can we have another selection?
This is when we need to be German? I mean,
No.
Okay. How about, like, you just go to the top of my repertoire here.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
That's so, because tomorrow is Rosh Hashanah.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Okay, give me something else to see if I can understand.
Something Irish.
I'm not Irish, I'm German. Virginia was the Irish person.
Yeah.
someone will know.
I know it, I just can't say it.
Oh, Cecilia, you're
Oh,
breaking
Celia,
my
yeah,
heart.
There you go.
How about the piano man?
Well, I just do like a chorus for that. So
Okay, now, I want to get back to the medical doctor Doyle, or Dempsey, excuse me. I am so fascinated that you were a TWA stewardess. There is a show that I watch called Collector's Call. It's on MeTV, and it's about people that have these unbelievable collections. There is a guy who has like everything TWA ever had. All their uniforms, all the stewardesses' uniforms, all the dinner trays, everything. And he also owns a 747 that he bought a used 747 and restored it. And a lot of movies rented out when they filmed like Air Force One and things like that. And John Travolta used it for his like 60th birthday party. And this guy concentrates on TWA. So he has probably the dresses and the costumes and the hats and everything else he wore.
The TWA
Just fascinating.
The TWA terminal in New York City was designed by Sarian. It was built, it looks, if you look at it from the front, it looks like a bird.
Yeah.
There's
Gonna
a
start
beak and then
putting
there's
these
the-
out.
things like that. When TWA was bought by Carl Icahn
Yeah.
and ruined, because he sold the airline off piecemeal. They closed the terminal up and more or less put it in mothballs. And about 5 years ago, someone bought it and turned it into a hotel.
Hotel, yeah.
So in this building, before you used to walk in and right with the gate where you checked in, to the right and to the left would be where the baggage claim was, and then you went through these like jet tubes more or less to outer terminals to get on
Yeah.
the flight.
Hot tea, does anyone want hot tea?
Thank you. They They have a little, they have an exhibit of TWA uniforms there. It's like a little museum kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then they have a room that looks like from the 50s, and some other kind of memorabilia from TWA. So it's, the rooms
do you wanna try
are
some cake?
interesting.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
on
maybe
the
a little bit.
roof, there's a swimming pool, so you can be at the swimming pool and watch the planes take off.
That's pretty neat.
And they have several nice restaurants and space for conventions and so on.
Now, my understanding was that Dayton was a pretty big TWA city.
That's true. They had a lot of flights that came
Yeah.
out. I was able to commute from Dayton to New York, although usually I went to Cincinnati.
In 1971, my first time in Germany, I took pictures in downtown Munich of trolleys. That on the side, it was TWA advertising
Oh, wow.
for Dayton, Cleveland, and Cincinnati,
Wow.
which I always thought was interesting. And I'm currently reading a book about Carol Lombard, and she tragically died on a TWA flight,
Oh,
coming back from selling war bonds.
Oh, wow.
In 1942, it went into the side of a mountain between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. She was trying to get back to Clark Gable. And that was interesting because they were flying DC-3s then, and they were called Sky Clubs. And they talked about how you had to be a medical nurse to be a stewardess.
You couldn't be married, you couldn't have children.
Yeah.
You had to weigh a certain amount. I was frequently on weight check. And
So they did weigh you?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
really?
last time I could weigh 120 pounds. And when I took off my shoes and everything to take off for my weight check, and I passed by a quarter of a pound.
Wow. But had they changed it then because you were married to Dennis, so by then you could be married?
Well,
I remember you still had to do
I took a
it.
leave, and then TWA went on strike, and they later went off, so it was years before I went back at one point in time.
Okay.
Actually, I was working as a pediatrician in Dayton, Ohio, and I asked for vacation so I could go back to TWA, and so I could officially retire. And at that point in time, you could be married, because I was pregnant, and I was able to take a pregnancy leave.
Yeah.
And for years I had waited for this quote-unquote buyout, which
Yeah.
never happened. And so then I finally left, quit, and then 2 weeks later they had the buyout, but they grandmothered me in. So for years, we had tickets so the boys could travel. My dentist took the boys to Italy. All they wanted to do was rent bumper cars, and they
Yeah.
came home early because they were fighting so much.
That's pretty neat. You know, one of the attorneys I practiced with, Pat Flanagan, his wife was a stewardess and had that same problem. And, you know, she got married, lost her job, and then that lawsuit, she eventually went back. And she didn't get back pay, but she got back seniority.
Oh, wow.
So Pat could fly really anywhere where he wanted to go because, you know, he was the spouse.
Hey, this
So that's
is
interesting.
great.
Yeah, this cake's really
I
good.
got a little.
Oh, this is wonderful. Are you a baker?
Kate's the
Yes
best cook
and
of all of
no.
us. She cooks. Anytime she cooks for Sunday dinner, Pat, it's a win.
Well, I had had a struggle with this cake a little bit because the middle just like would not get done. So I felt like I left it in
It's delicious.
to get the middle done, and
really
the
good.
outside got just a little bit crispy there.
It's
But
very good.
the flavor's good.
It was beautiful. The apples were arranged on the top in a very artistic way.
Apples from Door County, right?
Yeah, apples from my vacation to Door County. So
So nice.
there you go.
So how did Door County go? You had a good time?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. Yeah, it was lovely. It was not last week, but I guess the week before. It was right after Labor Day. And the weather was good. It was cool. For even up there, it was like they were setting some lowest high temperature records while we were there. So it was like the low 50s a couple of days. Got into the low 40s a couple of the nights. But the sun was out mostly, the water, and just the, nature up there is just gorgeous. And
Yeah.
so we got to see, got to do some hiking They have a number of state parks and county parks that are beautiful. Got to drink wine, at a picnic table on the beach. So, what can you?
And Archie went with you.
My dog went with us.
Yeah.
It was my sister and I and my dog, and it was lovely. And he enjoyed all the hiking and
And the ferry ride.
the ferry ride, and he did great the whole time. He's such a trooper of a dog, and he's the kind of dog that this trip it finally dawned on me. He is a dog that people don't see that much anymore. He's a Scottish Terrier, and they were once super popular, and then they kind of fell out of favor. And so when people see a Scottie, they have to stop and say something. And I got so many can I pet your dogs? The whole time I was up there, you walk around with this dog, and everybody's just like, "Oh, it's a Scottie.
Is that
Can I
the
pet?"
dog that's on the skirts from the 50s?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's I mean,
Roosevelt's dog.
Roosevelt had a Scottie.
Fowler.
It was the peak of the Scottie, I think, was in the 30s and early 40s. But so they're kind of rare to see around, and people are always like, "Wait a minute, what kind of dog is that?" So
Archie's cute.
he's a cutie pie.
He's refined.
He is.
It's not cute.
Very
he's
dapper.
refined.
He's very dapper with his.
Good morning, that's the word now.
There you go. Well, he's got the eyebrows and the beard and the skirt. So
So speaking of weather, according to the internet, they moved Oktoberfest up in the late
Because of weather?
1800s because they wanted to have better weather.
oh,
And the beer was fresher, and
Oh.
the days longer.
Days longer. There you go. That's my
it's weather.
practicality.
It is. Well, because
So
Is
when
it
have the
kind of a
Germans ever
harvest
done anything
festival?
practical?
They're always practical. The
Oh,
Germans
they're
are
German.
very practical. Oh yeah.
No. Look at their language. They don't come up with new words. They put 18 words together.
Yeah,
there's
that way you
there's
have
a
one
kind of
word.
practicality to that, though. It's descriptive.
They're
Yeah, that's
precise.
because you passed German language class. I didn't.
They are precise.
I did. Yeah. So I took some German. I can't speak it at all anymore. I feel terrible about losing it completely.
My dad could not speak English until he went to first or second grade. And, he was born in 1913 from a family that got here in 1859.
Wow.
So those Germans all lived together out there.
Yeah.
And they all went to German church and they all went to German school.
And you had German newspapers
Spoke
German
it all.
newspapers, yeah.
right up to the First World War.
Yep. So along I come. Now I've been back to my hometown twice. Brightonheim. You know where the Nahe River is? Nahe River.
I don't.
It's kind of close to France. It's
Okay.
over in that area. And it's neat, but I'm glad my ancestors came to America.
Well, about the
I think
language.
it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
About the language, they say that if you learn English, if you're from another country, you learn English. The first 20% is very easy, and the next 80% is really hard because English is so irregular.
Yeah.
Words that look the same, they're pronounced completely differently, and so many words have so many different meanings. They say that if you study German, the first 20% is very difficult because it's so complex, but the next 80% is relatively easy because it is so regular, and they don't study spelling in grammar school in Germany because everything sounds exactly the way that it's spelled.
That's definitely true.
In my life, I hit a roadblock and I usually stop. I love the cello. I still listen to Yo-Yo Ma, but I could never do the vibrato with my fingers. And if you can't do vibrato with your fingers, you shouldn't be doing the cello. And in German, I couldn't do the accent. I could read it, but I couldn't do the accent.
Yeah.
You can do the accent. Kate can do the accent.
Oh, I
You
don't
can
know
do the
about that.
accent.
Not well, believe me.
Yeah.
She's pretty good now.
I couldn't do it at all. Wished I could, but
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I mean, speaking German was one of the few things in life I could do better than Pat. So now she's been studying for years so she can top me in it, and she's getting
Good
really
for you.
close.
I'm good at grammar. I like grammar, it's kinda weird.
Well, if you edit his works, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your German teacher's name?
Yeah, I was in love with her. Frau,
It was a Frau. Okay,
Fraulein Kinder. No, Fraulein.
Fraulein.
Fräulein,
Kinder.
yeah.
Fräulein
Freulein.
Kinder.
Yeah, see, I can't even say that right.
Kinder means child.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was blonde, very northern, very northern German. Yeah,
And you were in love with
and
her.
you know,
I'm in love with her now.
my late wife, God rest her soul, she was always so proud of her Irish ancestry until her twin, Mary Grace, sent off one of those 23andMe
Right.
things, and it came back that a Bavarian had snuck into one of their bedrooms long time. And so she had some German in her, and she was trying to deal with that.
Unhappy.
Trying to deal with that. But yeah, I've been to Brighton Hung twice, and it's a nice little area. You know, it's a little village, like 500 people. And I'll tell you the weirdest thing, though, going there, is I went out to the old cemetery, and I was there in 1971, so it wasn't that much after World War II. And their war memorial, you know, it had the Iron Cross, and it was 1914, 1918, 1939, 1945.
Mhm.
There were a whole lot of garrisons on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Gieslers and Kreischers and Exleys, those are all the people that came over from that town and stayed in Van Wert and all intermarried with each other. When my dad got married, and the family had been there almost 100 years, his was the first marriage outside of the group that had come over from Germany.
Oh wow.
They had all been intermarried that much, yeah. And it was on a road in Van Wert in Harrison Township known as German Church Road, because there was a Lutheran church, and about 300 yards away there was the Evangelical Protestant Reformed Church, which my ancestors helped start. It was 125 years of operation before there was an intermarriage between those two churches.
Oh my lord.
My church, that my dad grew up in, thought Lutherans were too much like Catholics.
Yeah.
So that's why I became a Catholic and married a Catholic.
Right.
There you go. Act of rebellion.
Really? I worked in
There you go,
Germany.
Mark, or Eddie, it's in your blood.
I worked in Germany when I was a sophomore in college. I went on the work exchange program, and I was a house matron in Bayritzell, which is a small town in Bavaria. And I used to have to go to the cemetery with Frau Noper. This is an old lady that owned a hotel. And then her daughter got pregnant with someone, and he stuck around. When she got pregnant the second time, they got married. So she basically was the owner, but then her daughter and her then husband worked at the hotel. I used to have to go to the cemetery with Frau Noper and wash gravestones.
No.
She was a skinny little lady, and she was always going to me, "Du bist langsam, but you are slow," with her bony finger. Actually, I did a demonstration for everybody here
boy.
in Nan, but I still remember going to the cemetery. The cemeteries, the graves are a bit different than ours. There's a headstone, gravestone, and then there's like a little garden in front.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So I used to have to tend that and wash gravestones.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
I was taking a shower once, and I was living like on the third, fourth floor of this hotel, and they had a restaurant down below, and on Sundays it was quite busy. And I guess I took too long of a shower, or there was something wrong, but it started leaking into the beer hall on Sunday. And came upstairs
Oh, no.
screaming at me.
Oh no.
It was quite an experience with these people. I guess I had watched Sound of Music too many times, and thought I would just go to Germany.
Had a
and,
different
you know, walk,
vision.
go run through the hills singing or something. I don't know what I was going to do.
Now, since you both are very sophisticated, do you like opera?
Some of it, yeah.
Do you like opera?
Sometimes, yeah. Usually I watch a movie, but I've been to quite a few operas, and I enjoy them.
Carmen.
Yeah.
In 1973, January of 73, I went to Kassel, West Germany, and we went German lifestyles, and we went to the Hessen State Opera House to see Figaro's Wedding, where the program was in German. They were singing in Italian. I might as well have been talking to Martians.
You had no idea what was
I
going on,
had
did
no
you?
idea what was going on. And for those of you listeners here from Dayton, Dr. Bert Seidel, who's a wonderful guy, major opera fanatic. He's been trying to get me to go to the opera for years. And I try on classic Saturday when they put the opera on. I just can't do it.
Some more of this.
Oh, absolutely.
I just can't do it.
Before you go to the opera, you have to read the libretto, or read the story,
Yeah.
and listen to a CD of the music while you read it.
You have to have prep.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
homework.
you can't go to an opera cold because
That makes so
you
much sense.
have to study it ahead of time. I mean, certainly during the performance, they have the words up above and the stage.
I never noticed that, but even if they did, it'd have been in German. I didn't have a clue what was going on.
Thank you.
When was the last time you guys have been to Germany?
We were there for a wedding in May.
This past May?
okay.
Yes.
They
Oh,
go
were you
all
in
the time.
Bavaria?
It was in Bavaria. Yeah. It was. Do you know where Neuschwanstein Castle is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was. You could see Neuschwanstein Castle from where we were. We were in the little white church at the.
Was that with the guy that I ran around dating
Yeah.
with?
Yes, it is.
Oh, he's a
It was.
great guy.
Martin Blah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was his wedding.
It was his wedding. Yeah.
The church was built in the 1600s. It's a small church. It's only open from May until October because there's no electricity,
Oh,
there's
wow.
no lights, there's no water. But it was a lovely church.
I thought it was beautiful, yeah.
Small, and Martin has friends who are church musicians, and so there was a wonderful choir, and there was a little orchestra playing. So it was quite
nice.
nice.
When he was here, I took him out for a day.
Right. I remember that.
Took him out to Dayton history and showed him around. Then I came back here and I had a Bavarian travelogue CD and I put it on, and he went wild because when it had the shot of Neuschwanstein,
Yeah.
you could see his house,
Right.
and
Oh,
he jumped
nice.
up and started
He's like, right.
going crazy, and he's running over, on the big screen pointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
Now you taught him, right? Or he was on an exchange?
He did take a course from me actually one
Okay.
time in Augsburg, and then he moved to Regensburg with that teacher I told you about who brings me in, and
Yeah.
then he finally finished up in Munich, and he when he came here he was having trouble getting his dissertation done, so he came in. Was a visiting scholar at UD for 3 months, where he wrote the bulk of his dissertation and got
that's
it done
great.
that way. Yeah.
Well, how did you find Germany in the political context right now when you went in May?
Well,
The Germans
there's
cannot believe what's happening in America. They
Yeah.
all say, "How could this be happening? We don't believe it," etc.
But the what's the name of that party? The AFD. The AFD got 20% of the vote in the
Yeah.
last election, and even though it was 30% for the Christian Democrats or Christian whatever they call them,
Yeah. Merkel's
there's a
party.
lot of fear. There's a lot of fear
Yeah.
because nobody will work with that AFD party, and so they don't really have much power. But they have 20%, and this is a multi-party country, and so 20% is a lot. And there's the fear that someday, maybe in the not too distant future, they may get a majority vote.
What's driving that in Germany?
Immigration was a big thing, yeah. But then also now they have all kinds of economic problems, and they have all kinds of problems with the transportation, and a lot of people are very frustrated over things.
When I was there in '71, I rode the train over 12,000 miles
Yeah,
in Europe,
Wow.
and we were in and out of Frankfurt all the time.
right.
My friend's father was in the army at Hanau,
Yeah,
and I can remember when we would go to Munich on the weekends when all the Turkish guest workers
right.
were like going home for a long weekend.
Yeah.
And that was in '71.
Right.
So
Right, well,
I mean, they were doing that way back in '71.
yeah, well, they accepted just a few years ago. Merkel famously said, "They're schaffen das. We're going to
We
make
can
this."
handle this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so they had all these immigrants coming in. Where were they from, Pat?
Syria.
Mostly Syria, yeah. And there's a lot of resentment about that, especially since there's the downturn in the economy. There's unemployment,
Yeah.
and so many people say in Germany that the AfD is the wrong answer to some questions that are not so bad.
In Switzerland, I think they tried to pass a law that you couldn't have a mosque with minarets, that it was going to change
Right.
how
The character of the city.
the character of the countryside and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if that passed.
Well, they
or
have. No, I don't think so. But they have a ministry of culture, and so that's Christian. They don't have complete separation of church and state like we do.
not. Yeah.
But most of the ministers and the priests are in favor of religious freedom, and it's the ministry of culture that doesn't want people wearing hijabs in the classroom and things like that. Exactly what's going on with that right now, I can't say that I'm really in touch with that currently, but that's been a subject of conversation over the years.
Okay.
Their constitution or something limits how much money they can spend, and so they have cut back. When we were there, they were cutting back on some of the medical services that people can get. They have the hybrid system for their medical insurance, but the stuff from the government in terms of pharmacies and so on, and they were resentful because they had to pay more for that stuff.
What's your favorite vacation that you went to in Germany?
Well,
Vacation, rather than having to work.
well,
Vacation spot.
I
Let's say
always
vacation spot.
work
I
where
like to go
there.
to Berlin. I
Seriously,
think it's exciting.
Berlin?
I love
Berlin,
museums.
too.
yeah.
I've never been to Berlin.
I like Munich. I like Augsburg. I like Bavaria.
Yeah.
I like Berlin too. I mean, Berlin's a great world city. So is Munich. But Berlin's kind of rough sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas, Bavaria has its crime and its roughness and,
Yeah.
and so on. But it's just I think a friendlier place, much more aware of tradition and so on.
Yeah.
And
And when I was in Munich, we went on a walking tour of downtown Munich, and we ended up in a cathedral where the saints' bones were encased in gold and silver and jewels, and it's where Bavarian ladies who wanted to get married came and prayed, and then when they got married, they brought gifts, and it got to the point where all her bones were gold and silver encrusted and everything, and you could see her. She was in a glass
Yeah.
case. That then after that you could only bring flowers. What church was that? Since you're the good Catholic boy.
I don't know which church that is, but
You know why? Because
Which
there's a
church?
lot of them.
there are a lot
Church
of them.
in
Yeah.
Munich does that,
Yeah, they have these pilgrim churches, and
Yeah.
people go and pray for certain things, and then when their prayers are answered, they donate a tablet
Yeah.
that usually has something to represent the gift that they were granted. And you find these pilgrim churches all over, and Munich has many of these churches that are Baroque, and they have all this gold in them and silver and all these illusionary paintings on the ceilings and.
Well,
and
I've
so
got to
on.
find one because I've just found out that my Bears beat the Dallas Cowboys today.
Oh, good grief.
So I've got to. It's a good day. The Packers got beat
This is
and
a
the Bears
rough
won.
day.
Speaking of
Oh,
churches,
it's
Dennis
frozen over.
had a student whose
Tough day
aunt
for
and uncle
Bengals.
live in some small village, and they have a church in their backyard.
Church in their backyard.
It's about half the size of this dining room, and it was I guess when there were very many people around, they'd have these churches and people would come on Sundays. But yeah, it's a small church
Tiny
in the backyard.
church.
Tiny.
That's
Yeah.
barely a room.
I think it's a little bigger than this.
I loved when I was in Munich and going to Neuschwanstein.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. I really got into King Ludwig II. I mean, what a
Yeah.
crazy dude.
Right. Well,
And
they say
building all those
that
castles.
he
Bankrupt.
bankrupted them, but now Bavaria, because of Neuschwanstein,
Yeah.
they make so much tourist money that it funds all the education practically.
Now, Nanette and Sam had the German princesses that lived with them,
Yes.
and Maria was from northern Prussia.
Just near Hamburg.
Yeah, from near Hamburg. And she looked down her nose
On
at
the
the
Bavarian.
Bavarians.
Sure.
Yeah.
That they were lazy.
And she said, and they're just so
Yeah.
Catholic.
Like,
Yeah, right. Well, the Bavarians are to the Prussians as the Irish are to the British.
yeah, yeah.
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 And so, each has a superiority complex over the other.
But we loved. We had her. What were you gonna say, Sam?
Well, we went to one of the funniest things. We went to a restaurant in southern Germany with Maria.
Just a couple
And
years
she
ago,
starts-
she took the train
Yeah.
from northern Germany to meet us with her boyfriend while we were in southern Germany.
She starts speaking English with the German waitress. And we're like, what's going on? Oh, I can't understand her Bavarian accent. We're just going to speak English. Two German people in Germany speaking English.
'cause they
I
get
thought
it.
it was so
I
funny.
thought
Oh
that
my
was-
gosh.
Yeah, that happened. That was just like 2
Oh,
years ago we
Maria.
saw her. The princesses Dan talks about. The other one lived with Dan and Kathleen Foley, and her name was Neela, and Neela was from Oldenburg, Germany, and Maria was from a small town outside of Hamburg.
These high school students are.
They were high schools and they went to Stivers, and now they're like 28, like 28
Yeah,
years old.
this was
Quite
quite
a
a
while
while
ago,
ago.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Volsroda, that's
Yeah, we're still doing
the town.
And
Maria, Volsroda.
Valsroda,
I
Valsroda,
might
that's
be
right.
pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
Walsrod.
They had parrots. They had a parrot. What do they call those things that hold birds?
Toucans?
They bird sanctuary.
Sanctuary, bird
Yeah.
sanctuary.
It's nice.
Yeah, we went to it. But Maria is dating a man that she met through Rotary who's from Ecuador, and so he's Ecuadorian and lives in Germany with her. And Neela, she works in Berlin now, and Maria says she can't find a man because there's impossible to find anybody normal in Berlin. That's what she told me.
That's so funny.
Eddie,
Just no
I'm going to
men.
buy you a plane ticket
No
to
men in
Berlin.
Berlin.
No men in Berlin, they're just such a mess. That's what she said to us. I said, okay.
They were some fun kids.
They were. We took them to OU when
Yes.
Marty was in college for Julie's 21st birthday. And it was Kate and me, the German princesses, in Virginia.
Yes.
And my brand new Town and Country minivan,
That's correct.
where the only time that CD player or DVD player has ever been used was
That is-
when the German princesses picked the movie, and it was Johnny Depp and Sweeney Todd.
That's right.
I had that. I still have that because I'm collecting Chrysler minivans now. I have two of them. One's 20 years old that I'm not going to give up. I'm thinking about maybe taking that with
When
me
they
to
get
the
a certain
airport.
age, then you get free license plates.
Yeah, I can get historic places. Yeah.
That's right.
But that is the only movie that's ever been played
Wait,
on
is that right?
Sweeney Todd for the
So
German
funny.
princesses. Yeah.
The princesses were great, though.
They were fun.
They were fun. We enjoyed them. We have a new exchange student on the block right now.
Yeah.
Dia, and she's from India, and is very nice. And I guess yesterday the news on Dia is she's playing tennis, and she's never really exercised in her life, and so she played tennis, and she exercised so much she couldn't walk the next day.
Just from a tennis practice.
So it's tennis practice.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's the news on the exchange student on the block right now.
What's
She's lucky she's here because so many exchange students didn't make it.
Oh, is that
At
right?
UD, they, the small percentage were able to get their visas and come.
Is that right? Well, they're staying with Ann Charles. She's staying right now with Ann Charles and Jason, and their son is an exchange in Finland, and so it's through Rotary. She's a high school student. She's going to Stivers as well. So yeah, I don't know, but
We had such exchange students that they went to CJ. We had
yeah.
a boy from northern Germany and a girl from Switzerland. And we had these two German girls in the summertime. But they were literally, the one was literally crazy. She would beat her sister up.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my.
Our princesses were a delight.
Oh,
Right,
they
Sam?
were.
Oh man.
They
We
were
love
great.
them.
Yeah,
They were
We love
special.
them.
They were
And-
Everyone
lots of
loved
fun.
And if you
German
can
princesses.
imagine, Maria was 16 years old and she comes to live with Sam and I, who've never had any children. And this 16-year-old girl, we were like, whatever you want to do, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And she was
Yeah.
delightful.
Yeah.
But we're thinking, I think Sam and I are thinking we'll take Dia from, because they go to 3 different houses
Yeah.
in Rotary. So I think Sam and I are going to take her on the second round. She's very nice. We always like Aunt Charles and Jason to have them first, so if they're not nice, we don't take them.
Yeah, it's like the trial run.
I'm like, how are they? Isn't that a good plan?
It's very,
That's a very good
Thank
plan.
you.
Very good plan.
Well, and you'll have a kitchen this time.
Yeah. Oh, also,
So that's good.
when Maria lived there, Ed Finn was redoing our kitchen, and it took a very long time.
The whole
And
time.
we fed her out of a crock pot in the basement because we couldn't. There was no kitchen.
Yeah.
She probably went back to Germany and said the food in America is just
Terrible.
awful.
I know my friend, because she had to go to 3 different houses, and so one of our friends said she'll go
Yeah.
back and say 2 out of 3 households have kitchens in America.
But in Germany, though, when you get an apartment, you know, we get apartments, there are cabinets and there's refrigerators and stuff. Theirs are empty. You have to buy the cabinets and put them in.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. You can. There are some apartments that come equipped. I have
Like
a friend that lives
furnished.
in one of those.
Is that
But it's a
pizza?
different situation.
Is that what?
Is that
One of our
pizza?
loyal listeners is
pretzel?
Yeah, yeah,
Cindy
yeah.
Carell,
Oh, right.
Ed's widow.
I don't know.
So she'll get a
Oh,
kick
thank
out
you.
of you.
Oh, we
talking.
talked. Yeah, we talked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about Ed all
So-
the time.
Listen,
Yeah, Cindy listens regularly, but yeah, Ed was.
He did a great job
Oh,
in that
God,
kitchen,
that
but it took
kitchen.
a while.
That kitchen's so. You know, he did that kitchen 13 years ago, and there's not a single thing we've changed.
Right,
Or
yeah.
wanted to change.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, he was a master.
Yeah.
Master
Yeah.
carpenter.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy your guys' German discussion and the situation now about Germany.
And how are we doing time-wise? We okay?
Yeah, we're great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
How
We're
long
great.
are your podcasts?
Well, we don't know. It's until people
Until
just look at
people
each
are
other.
we're done.
I think we've usually been around an hour and a half.
About
Yeah,
90
it's
minutes,
about 90
typically.
minutes.
And I will tell you this, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to, after they get back from Paris,
Yes.
we're going to watch every Academy Award winning Best Picture in order,
Yes, and we're
starting
discuss
with
it.
Wings.
Yes.
On the-
Now,
on the
I
pod.
do have something I want to bring up.
Well,
on
just a
that.
minute, and I
Okay,
just
go ahead.
found, because I'm getting ready to have my back room redone so I don't have to keep going up and down the stairs. And so I just found 3 of the Academy Award winning DVDs I thought I had lost.
Ah,
Oh,
So
there you go.
I'm getting close to
What'd
having
you find?
Grand Hotel, Shape of Water, and
oh, great movie.
That's what she begs a fish,
Parasite.
right?
Thank you, Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Parasite.
Spoiler
Shape
alert.
Shape of Water. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Parasite too. That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
And-
Parasite is good. They did one of those lists of like the best movies of this century, and that was
Yeah.
number 2 or something like that.
Well,
And I had-
We talk about movies a lot.
Yeah, we do that. What were you gonna say?
Oh, what I
Sam?
want to bring up, friend of the show, Bill
Friend of the show.
LaHecca.
Bill LaHecca.
Bill LaHecca wanted to suggest that we don't do the movies in order.
Nope.
That we do that we randomize them.
Nope.
That might give
Ah.
us a better perspective on them.
My show, my dinner with Dan, my DVD collection. We're
Bill, if you're
starting.
Pounding the
Bill,
table.
if you're
That is truly
listening,
German.
Bill, he's pounding
Yes.
the table.
The
Bill,
German
if
is
you're
coming
listening,
out
I
of me.
think that's a good idea. I understand what you're
it's
trying
more
to
like
get us
Khrushchev,
to do.
I think.
Yeah, give me
Yeah, I
my
know,
shoe.
right?
I came up with this years ago.
We're gonna do
He
it.
does.
Virginia,
he wants to
and
watch
I-
them in order.
Bill LaHecca, I love that on the
Bill
air.
says he wants his light back.
But we're starting with Wings, and
And
we're
we're
going
starting.
through.
We're starting in 2 weeks, and so we're telling you guys this. So if there's a movie you really like, and you want to come back and talk about it when we're doing that, you can come.
Yeah.
That's right.
We can have guests come back.
Yeah.
So if there's a good movie, you
And we
like.
also talk about TV shows too.
Yes.
And Naked and Afraid Apocalypse just got over, unbelievable. And on Tuesday, it's
I've
the
never
last
watched that.
episode.
Never watched it. I don't watch reality TV.
The last episode of Alien Earth is going to be on.
Oh, I don't know. What that
Really
is.
troubling about AI and the future, especially with Xi and Putin talking about harvesting organs and putting them in the bodies. That Alien Earth has been really creepy about the future.
Sounds
But then
great.
the good thing is Amazing Race starts this week.
Reality.
Ah.
I don't watch
And
reality.
Amazing Race is a good show.
I used to watch it some, but I haven't watched it in years. But it's a fun one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
I've never watched reality shows.
Well, they go all over the world.
I know what they do. I just don't like I don't like entertainment where they're not getting paid to entertain me. I'm not
Yeah.
into it.
Well, you know, when I lived in D.C., I
You
lived
wanted
with
to do the
I
Amazing
lived with
Race.
Jennifer Parsons,
Yeah.
and we watched The
Amazing
Amazing
Race.
Race every week. and we used to pretend we were like filming the video, because I mean, this was 20 years ago, but we used to pretend like we were filming the video to our tryout video for Amazing Race as we were going around DC.
Did you
And
really?
yes, we were.
I knew
we
you guys
used,
were super
we
into
used
it.
to crack each other up. We'd be like on the metro, like escalators running up the wrong way, like showing how dedicated we were. But yeah, we had all these ideas
And
for
you
a
never
video,
did it?
but we didn't do it. We didn't do it.
Well, you can learn a lot on Amazing Race. One is always read the instructions,
Oh yeah,
because that always goofs them up.
it always messes
Walk,
them up.
and then they'll take a cab instead of walking, and they get penalized 2
Yeah.
hours, and do this and do that. So it's
Yeah.
really important to
I'm
do
not
that,
gonna
yeah.
watch it.
And also, it's a guy thing. Dudes, stop and ask for directions. Because dudes will never stop and ask
They
for directions.
they always shoot themselves in the foot with that. Yeah.
and
Do
people,
women typically win?
huh?
Do the women typically win Amazing Race?
It's about 50-50. I will tell you who does best on Naked and Afraid by themselves are the women. The women are much tougher than the guys
Not
by
You
shocked
know,
themselves.
by
you
that.
know what this show is, Naked and Afraid. This is an
Oh
insane
my God, it's been
show
on for 15
It's
years.
terrible.
where they drop everybody in some strange deserted place in the forest naked.
And afraid.
You're
And you-
lucky
And they
if
have
it's
to
a
survive.
forest.
They get like one item, or
And they have
like
to
a knife or
survive
something.
like how many days?
Survival.
21 days.
21 days naked in
Afraid.
forest.
And afraid.
And, you
It's
know,
ridiculous.
How many in the hospital are dead?
a bunch
Yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah.
Some of them
It's
got bit by
ridiculous.
black mambas and fear de lance.
Fear to
And
land.
people die, really? No.
I don't.
One was in, Manu was in the hospital
Yeah,
for
like
like 6
ICU.
weeks. They thought she was going to die.
Oh
My
my.
God.
Oh my.
See, this is why I prefer like when they just practice act and then you watch it on TV. I like that.
Well, yeah,
But Dan, The Summer I Turned Pretty series finale was Wednesday, and it was amazing. I've already watched it twice.
now they were talking about that.
Yeah, this has
Yesterday on
become a
something.
pop culture
It's-
phenomenon,
I know.
right?
I like
Like,
hit
it
the
is.
moment, and
You
like
did hit the
everybody's
moment.
doing it now, so it's nice.
I
nice
hear
to be
about
with
it a lot.
everybody.
I don't
Is
know
that
what it
after
is.
the
But
book that was like
Yes.
a teenage book?
Yes,
or
it's a
something?
young adult book, Jenny Hahn's book, and I didn't know about it until about 3 weeks ago. And my COO came up and said, "I'm sorry, like I'm completely fixated on this show. I have to get up at 3 a.m. to watch the kickoff." I said, "I have no idea what you're talking
What are you-
about."
yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you can go watch it." And so I did, and it's ridiculous because it's a show for teenagers, and all these middle-aged women are obsessed with it, including me, and I'm probably like a ton of like Kate's one of my few
Yeah.
friends that
I
is not
have not
obsessed with
been.
it.
Yeah, I have not been
So
watching
we all
this.
Wednesday was the series finale. We all watched it. We all texted each other to discuss it, and then we all watched it again this weekend. It
Oh,
was
wow.
excellent.
Is it will it be on next year or this is finished?
Series finale, but they announced they're doing a movie. That's the big news.
Yeah.
So it's 3 seasons and a movie.
Uh-huh.
And then there's all this discussion because it was a love triangle between the 2 brothers and the girl,
Oh.
you know. And then I couldn't figure out why I was so into it. And then I read Vogue, and Vogue said like the character that you want. There's like Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah, like you know which team for the dudes. I mean,
The
everybody-
incest team wins though.
everybody's
so-
everybody's on Conrad. There is only one team, but anyway, everyone was like, why is everyone obsessed with Conrad? And it turns out he's in the model of Fitzwilliam Darcy and Glover Blythe, and so that's clearly why
Oh,
I'm
from
obsessed
Pride and
with
Prejudice.
it.
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice and
And
Anne of Green Gables.
Gables.
Okay.
So clearly that's why I would be obsessed with this young adult show. So with every other middle-aged woman in
Wow.
America except for Kate.
Except for me, I have not
You'll-
caught this wave.
You
I'll
should-
probably
oh,
catch it.
They have all these Easter eggs about the show Sabrina. Okay, so like Jenny Hahn's like obsessed with Sabrina, the movie, you know, with
The Teenage Witch
no,
No, like the,
the
movie
old school
Sabrina, with Audrey Hepburn.
and
and Humphrey
Humphrey
Bogart.
Bogart.
Oh, that movie. Okay.
And so yeah, so there's all these
Oh.
Easter eggs in the show
Huh. Okay.
and lots of Sabrina stuff going on in it too.
Well, last
Okay.
night I watched the new Superman. It premiered on HBO,
How
and
is
it's
it?
really good. It's really, really good.
It seemed to get good reviews.
yeah, I
I'm not
love
into that.
Rachel Brosnahan ever since Amazing Mrs. Maisel, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
plays
Oh,
Lois
she
Lane.
does?
She's
She's
Lois
Oh,
Lois
Lane.
Maisel does?
Yeah.
She's
Oh, I
Lois
love
Lane?
her.
Yeah.
Lois Lane, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, but she was Clark Kent's newspaper columnist.
I didn't know Maisel was in it. I
Yeah.
loved Maisel
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, she was
That's a
really
great
good.
show.
Yeah, it's good. And they have this CGI generated dog who is hysterical. That dog, you just wish the dog was real. Because that
Yeah.
dog is just great.
Now, do you have Hulu? Are you keeping Hulu and Disney Plus?
I'm trying to get him to cancel it.
Are you? I was gonna go get Hulu to watch Only Murders, but no, I'm not.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
have
not.
Hulu, and I feel very conflicted about it. But I do watch Only Murders.
Well, if you boycott everything, then you're boycotting
My
everything.
feeling is
Well, I
that
think I call bullshit on that.
Well,
yeah, I think boycotts can be very effective.
Yeah, I
Disney
think
walking the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the fact that they folded over this.
Oh, it's so maddening. So upsetting.
Well, yeah, they just need a little bit more of Cassian from Andor to be running that company because, as we all know, the rebellion wins in Star Wars world.
I know.
But anyhow, we are going to watch those movies in order.
Okay, so
Go
2
ahead.
weeks.
Okay.
I love
Phew.
you,
Okay.
but we're going to watch those movies in order.
What year do you start?
He just
1929
wanted-
Wings. It was a silent movie.
Where do you get these, or can you stream it?
Some I think are probably streaming, but you have the DVD,
I have the
of
DVD.
like almost all
I
of
don't
them, right?
believe in the streaming stuff. If you don't own it,
He watches Naked and Afraid streaming.
I've got a lot of Naked and Afraid DVDs.
He does. He's bought DVDs.
Do they stay? Do they disintegrate or?
DVDs, I think they last a lot longer than VCR tapes.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. I like owning the movie. I really do.
I have a lot of musicals that I have on DVD.
Because I used to buy you musicals
Yeah.
for your.
That's right. Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I have them. And I have ones that I bought myself too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that. Also Christmas movies.
Yes, I have
Like
a lot of
It's a
Christmas
Wonderful Life.
movies.
You know.
Now, one of my friends is from Paris, Texas, and a dear friend, and apparently there's a Hallmark movie, A Cowboy from Paris, and that just is, she thought she was meeting a cowboy from Paris, France, not from Paris, Texas. And if you know anything about Paris, Texas, they have a miniature Eiffel Tower with a cowboy hat on top of it.
Oh Lord.
And my other friend watched the movie, said it was horrible. I think it got 17 on Rotten Tomatoes. And apparently he Googled it, and the only thing in Paris, Texas that they filmed was the Eiffel Tower. The rest of it was all filmed in Vancouver. Which,
Oh,
if you ever
funny.
watched that
A lot of things.
that
are.
movie about Portland,
Portlandia?
huh?
Portlandia?
Not Portlandia. It was Marcia Gay Harden was on it. Her son was a private detective. It was based in Portland, Oregon. They just filmed downtown Portland. It was filmed in Vancouver also.
I think a lot of things are.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
things.
why
are.
would you want to go to Texas anyway?
Huh?
Like, good for them, because Texas sucks.
Well, yeah, but I just think it's
It's too
it's
hot every
interesting.
time you go outside your glasses.
Yeah, and
Fog
those,
up.
yeah, and those folks
In
that run
Texas.
Texas are terrible.
Terrible.
Do you know there was
Very
a place in
dangerous
Texas
down
where there were a group, several Germans, lots of Germans actually settled, and they wanted to make like a little republic and bring back the
Yeah.
monarchy.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Oh my.
They still have one of the biggest Oktoberfests in the country down there, in that part of Texas. Yeah, but I think there's a lot to be said for filming movies. Dayton was the last place Robert Redford filmed a movie.
That's right.
It was
That's
Downtown
right.
Dayton, The Old Man and the Gun,
Old Man and the Gun,
Which-
which was a good movie.
which
Yeah,
I
it
own
was.
the DVD of.
Okay.
The Old Man,
That
and,
is true. I forgot.
and then at the city jail, they filmed Miles Away or Miles the Miles Davis thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they used the old city jail for when Miles was in jail.
I know. But these weren't based in Dayton, Ohio. These movies just use Dayton as a.
Well, yeah, but I think
As a
it's neat
backdrop.
that that we get part of that film culture here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What film was done in George's restaurant?
George's Restaurant.
Oh
up on,
yeah.
The one up on Main Street?
On Dixie.
Yeah, Dixie, sorry. Yeah, there was some
They
film that
did
was done
film.
there.
What did they film there?
We
Now
ate
that-
dinner there, and they were talking about how, like, when they close, the movie people come in.
It's fascinating. I remember now that you're saying that. I
How long ago
remember.
was that?
At least a year.
Yeah, a year or two.
Oh, yeah, then I don't
couple
know.
years.
There was a movie called Blue Car that was filmed
Right.
because they used the Bernard's house.
Did they?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Bernard's
wow.
house was in. They used the garden scene because they had, they could sit in their breakfast nook and look out in the garden. And Jim Bernard said they can use it, but nobody can smoke on my property.
Interesting, really interesting. They
So-
they came and looked over our house for that movie,
For,
but they
for your house?
yeah, but they didn't use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Car.
Right.
And I think they filmed part of it at Stivers. He was a teacher, a public school teacher.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
One of
Well,
the
how about
Disney things that films that followed young girls who were playing basketball. And one of the girls went to Stivers, and one of them went to Catholic school, St. Charles or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It was a Disney thing, and that was a whole series of like 13, like they were waiting to get into some kind
Yeah.
of basketball league.
Dan, I would like to work in a point from our earlier conversation because we've talked about our sons Tom, Mike, and Patrick, but we just never mentioned Christopher, who was our only kid who was actually a good kid when he was young. They're
Yeah,
all-
he's a doctor now.
Way to go,
he
Christopher.
is a radiologist. He works for Denver Health, and he does very well
Very
out there. And actually, he was just in Dayton and Cincinnati for a visit with us this past week. But I just wanted to make sure that Christopher got mentioned, and I'm sure he would be happy too to know that he wasn't forgotten.
He's the one that went after Bald Mom with the
But
stethoscope.
he was in Mr. Staley's math class, and he said something about his older brother Tom, and Mr. Staley said, "You're not Tom Doyle's brother." So no one. So he
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
like his
he,
brother.
he had a preset
Funny.
reputation that he had to live down.
Was he number 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
tough,
tough.
right?
When I went to register him for class, they put him on a tardiness program because he was always late at Holy Angels. So that he was on some special program to make sure he was on time for CJ. And they wouldn't let him take any advanced. He was at really good grades in any advanced classes because
He's a
because
Doyle.
his brothers did. So
You know,
they let him take one.
About 10 years ago, I was at one of these events at Corpus Christi in the rec center, and somebody dragged somebody up to me. I forget who it was, and they said, "You got to meet this guy. When his kids were young, we all thought they were all going to end up in jail, and they're all doing great now. It's really amazing."
Oh my god. Oh my. That's
Hey,
something.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to say something. The son of yours that I admire the most,
Patrick.
Patrick, is because when he got caught holding the bag, and there were like 3 other CJ kids that should have gone down with him, he looked at him and he said, "I ain't saying nothing, coppers." And you and I had that conversation.
And this is Coppers. This is to the police department.
Yeah. And you were very
Oh,
upset
boy.
with Patrick for that,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's my boy."
Attaboy.
Good fight.
Yeah.
Pigs.
Man, I tell you, he's the guy that you want to wake up in the jail cell with going, "Wow, what a ride." I always admired that about Patrick.
Dubious
I've
honor.
always thought that I'd like to wake up in a jail cell with Patrick. Yeah.
You know, you got to admire that because he was not going to rat his friends out.
He's loyal.
And I just,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
yeah.
I think I was just upset with him getting in trouble. I don't think I was upset
Yeah.
with him not ratting out his friends.
And trust me, I had my
Understandable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
2 different issues. Yeah, 2 different issues. But yeah, your kids were legendary. They really were.
They still are. One of my daughters-in-law said just maybe 2 days ago, she said, if you're having a party and you want to liven it up, invite a Doyle, or maybe you just invite all of them, and then you're going to have a really great party.
Nice.
When Dragon Stadium first opened, Tommy was a senior, 18 years old.
Oh, I
2000,
know this
right?
story.
2000. So we're there, and on the Jumbotron, there's Tommy Doyle with 2 beers in his hands, like that. And Virginia's like, "That's Tommy Doyle. He's not 21.
Shut up, shut up. He looks 21.
Oh my.
Oh gosh.
And now he's this great attorney, successful, great businessman, great guy. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, he's a Cincinnati attorney, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys did really well.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, you had this
We are
really
blessed.
amazing relationship. God knows how you two found each other. I think you ought to give OU some money,
Yeah.
contribute to them, because without OU, I don't think you two would have been together.
That's true.
And, you know, I think sometime you ought to think about just going to New York and staying overnight in the TWA hotel.
I've done that.
Oh, you have? Has
It's
Dennis
such a
gone
cool
with you?
hotel.
Our son
so
Mike
cool,
financed
yeah.
that for her.
Okay, that's pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah.
Did you
Actually,
enjoy
my
it?
son was just there this week, and he brought me back a TWA because I lost my TWA, like the little thing you put on your keys.
Oh, okay.
Actually, my grandchildren have TWA T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
That I guess I must have bought the one for her when I was staying at the hotel.
Well, before
And,
you
then, and Mike now orders them online because she grew out of it.
before you leave, I'm a catalog shopper. Just ask the mailman around here, right, Ed?
Oof.
Keeps them employed.
Oh my,
A slow day,
yes.
mail day for me is
Also
getting
causing back
18 to
surgery.
19 catalogs a day.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love catalogs. And I got a catalog of aviation gifts, and there's a whole bunch of TWA stuff in it. So you can leave with that tonight,
Thank you.
because I get one every month.
That's right. He didn't mention the parting gifts, did he?
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Catalogs.
Catalogs.
And the new parting gifts are,
Oh, we have parting gifts.
you know, when I was a judge, I got into buying pens. And I always paid for them myself. The city of Dayton never paid for them. And I left my pens everywhere. In restaurants,
Oh yeah.
Arrow Wine had them, Rite Aid had them, Walgreens had them.
I've signed many a receipt with an honorable Dan
You got
Harris
accused
pen.
They were spread throughout. I sprinkled them like Johnny Appleseed.
Yes, you
Sprinkled
did.
apple seeds all over. And so I just decided I got to get back in the pen
Oh
business.
God.
Oh,
So
no.
I got pens now that say, thank you, Honorable Daniel G. Garrett, State Municipal Court, retired.
Nice.
And
Nice.
they're good. People our age like them because they have this grip on them, and it's blue ink, so you can
They're
always
very
tell
nice.
whether it's an original or not. So, on behalf of Dinner with Dan,
Thank you.
write some
Oh,
prescriptions.
I get 3 of these.
You
Wow.
get 3 of them. Write
Wow.
some prescriptions.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
They're good
Generous.
pens.
they're good pens. Yeah,
Yeah.
You like nice pens. Thank you.
they are good pens.
I
Thank
didn't
you,
know we
Dan.
have gifts
Dan
now.
doesn't skip
Yeah.
on the pens.
Stepping it up here at Dinner with
Oh
Dan.
yeah,
Wow.
Yep.
Well, you're right. That is nice. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, you ready to close this out?
Okay, well, I'd like to thank my very, very good friends. I hope that everybody that listened to this, and I just want to say something. I'm going to practice my German.
Oh boy.
Das potato salad is sehr gut.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
potato salad, I want that to fill my basket when they bury me out at St. Kateri.
Oh, nice.
That is good stuff.
Yeah,
I
it
want to
is.
take that with me on the afterlife.
Really?
That is a great recipe.
Yeah.
You should seriously consider making that and selling it at a farmer's market. That's good stuff.
Oh.
So anyhow, thank you for sharing your life with us.
You're welcome. There's your-
Not only tonight on the podcast, but all these years that we've got phone calls from each other, and all the parties we've gone to together, and church things we've gone to together. Same thing for you, Dennis. Really appreciate you guys being here. And just to let our listeners know, we're taking next week off. Our technical staff's going to be in the City of Lights. Huh?
I'm so excited.
So excited. And we don't know how to do it from there. So we will all just be watching football games next Sunday. Wish everybody well. But by then, Duncan will be done. We'll have a new lineup for October. So when
Yes.
you guys get back, I think we'll probably do a recap from your Paris
Oh, nice.
venture. So,
Sure.
yep. And
Love
then we'll get Duncan here. So anyhow, thanks a bunch. Godspeed and fair winds until we meet again. Auf Wiedersehen. Did I say it right? Auf
Yeah,
Wiedersehen?
yeah.